Power Lunch, a bombshell lawsuit today, but one that people did see coming. The New York Times becoming the first major media company to sue over AI. The newspaper filing suit against Microsoft and OpenAI, claiming they are using the Times' copyrighted work to train their chatbot. Joining us here on set to discuss is Danny Cevallos. He's MSNBC's and NBC's legal analyst. Danny, it's great to see you. Welcome. This was expected, no, in some way, shape, or form. Why is the New York Times at the forefront?
Yes, these lawsuits have already been cropping up. And the theory of liability is that by using AI to train the AI using copyrighted material, and that copyrighted material is the New York Times intellectual property, their columns, their pieces, all of their content that is out there and for a subscription. It is copyrighted material that is for sale. So the argument is, by training AI using this huge database of copyrighted material, they are infringing on the copyright because they will use that later on. And it's impossible, essentially, to separate what they are digesting from what they're putting out.
But so what applies to the New York Times could apply to virtually any published work, whether it's produced by the Washington Post or I don't know, the Brookings Institution or whomever, right?
You've seized on a key reason why I think ultimately, one of the reasons I think the Times will not be successful, and it's this. The Times is obviously a gigantic player in the world of copyright, but copyright attaches to a lot of stuff. The notes you make on that paper today are theoretically copyrightable.
Owned by NBC.
Yes,
owned by NBC.
Exactly right. So many people have copyrights. The New York Times, if they're successful, that means that arguably AI would have to go out, these companies would have to go out and find all these owners of copyright, wherever they may be, in a log cabin somewhere in Alaska, and pay them. And that would mean the end of AI. That would mean the end of the future of artificial intelligence, if that were the case. So in a sense, it could be argued that the Times has to lose for progress to survive.
How would the Times prove that Microsoft ChatGPT, Bard, are siphoning their content, and when I ask a question about some medical topic, that it is coming from the New York Times copyrighted material? Do they go word for word and look through and say, well, this sentence looks an awful lot like that sentence that was published on May 25th, 2021, or what? How do they prove it?
You've seized on a key issue, which is it's probably conceded that the AI companies are digesting all of this copyrighted material. That seems to be indisputable. The question is, what is going to be in the output? Because if it is a copy of the Times content, then you've got a problem.
Yes. And
that's
some
a copyright
of the exhibits
infringement.
The Times included had verbatim output examples from their articles.
Exactly right. But then that creates a secondary issue, which is why? Is that a product of the AI committing a form of copyright infringement, or is that the user saying, hey, spit out something that is written like this particular writer for the Times, and oh, here is a first paragraph for you to base it on. That actually is an issue, that if you put in a first paragraph of a copyrighted material, then it's more likely to spit out something that is very similar. But on the first example, if it is simply churning out something that is inspired by the writers and the other copyrighted material it's digesting, then probably not only is that not a violation, that's kind of what copyright law has always envisioned, that we would learn stuff. In fact, the words coming out of my mouth today, I learned by reading copyrighted material by law professors, who I will not pay a dime for the information that I got, and I am now regurgitating to you.
So if I were to say, write me a 750-word summary in the voice of Thomas Friedman, the New York Times columnist, about the current war between Hamas and Israel, it could be a problem.
It depends. Look at the output. If the output is substantially similar, if you can compare them
that Friedman just wrote,
to a column that Friedman just wrote, and that can be enhanced by what the user requests, right? The example you just gave is perfect. Write it in the voice of Thomas Friedman, but you might nudge it along even more. You might say, here's the first paragraph of what he recently wrote on the same topic. Now you're getting closer to copyright violations. But the mere fact that it may be derivative of Friedman, that's everything. That's what we go to college for. That's what we read stuff for. We're all derivative. There's an argument to be made that the only difference between this and what we do is that humans do it, and they put in a lot more effort. There are more calories burned. With AI, it happens instantaneously, and you don't see the effort. And then, of course, yet another issue is the fact that stuff that's created by a machine is not itself copyrightable. That's another issue down the road. Only humans for now can get copyright protection. But really the key is going to be, what is the output? How derivative? Is it just merely derivative? Does it fall within fair use? Or is it flat out copying?
It's fascinating.
I'm feeling so derivative.